Checklist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Happy effing Tuesday. Yeet! And if you were with us for WrestleMania weekend, you had a fun-ass 2 days. And the fun don't stop. So it's Tuesday night. You already know what we do over here. We are a bunch of professional hoarders to the fullest. We also got a special guest coming through tonight who was live in Vegas at the show of shows. So we got a great night ahead of us. Let me see who we got in the chat real quick. I'm just going to blaze through this real quick because we got a night planned for yous. We got Ghost Rider. What up, Ghost Rider? My broski. Speaking of broskies, there's my big bro, Cheesy. We got Money Fresh and the best mother effing sponsor, period. Don't be outside looking dumb as shit in these dope ass kicks, bro. Tap in with Money Fresh. Get yourself right. Yeet. We got my young buck, Jeremiah. What up, youngin'? Hope school was okay so far for the beginning of the week. We got my second pair of eyes so I don't miss shit. Mo money. Yeet. We got Will Wrestling. He said, once again, bro, thanks for the back-to-back lives this weekend and putting in the extra work. Yeet. Let's get it. What up, sis? How we doing tonight, Super? Woo, we got the one true villain. Villain Enterprises. 3 to the top, 2 to the bottom. My manager. Yeet, yeet, yeet. And I know you loved it when I call him the manager. We got Willie from where? Chicago. We got my man Kevin. What's goody, Kevin? Yeet. All right, so you guys know I try to give you a little hint and dash on what we're going to unbox for you. So first off, we're going to start off with, I try to do a little shoe with a popcorn as long as I can at least. So if you see the color of the hat is going to go with the shoes. So I didn't want to unbox them a few weeks ago because I figured everybody else was doing it. I let everybody. So if I'm not first, I'd rather do it last. I don't want to be in the middle. So if you know what that is, you know what shoe's coming. And I know you guys enjoy when you see something from me because you know it goes on feet. You got the Unheard Of, the pink pair. Big shout out to Phil from Unheard Of, hooking up me, Bulldoggery, and the villain with our pairs. Thank you for that, Phil. That was dope. He didn't have to do that. And I'm not a big pink guy, but I wanted these. These were dope as shit. You got your extra red laces. Now, this is a pink shoe I can rock with. And if you guys remember, I was telling, and girls, of course, cats and dogs, I've been telling you I needed a good pink shoe to go with some of my Bret Hart merch. And this was perfect for it. Yo, what up, D's? Salute. And what's goody, Dylan? Yeet, yeet. If I could get these damn insoles out. There we go. All right, we got one. All right, so we got the shoe right here, as you can see. Beautiful shoe. Look at that little piggy. Then we got the other shoe. Let me get the insoles out, and then we'll see what goodies are in this box. I was waiting to really unbox these with everybody. This is cool. See? The pig's eyes. That's cool. We got the workout pig going in. Yo, what up, So Much Soul? Yo, what up, Bulldoggery? You got the Unheard of keychain. Some more keychains. What else we got? Oh, this is cool. A little air freshener for the car. Or whatever you need an air freshener for. Some sticker action. Damn, and we're not even done. There's still more stuff. Little 4-pack of little cards. Man, we got a little of everything in this box, and we're still not done. Some wrists, for the wrist, playing some basketball, you're getting a jog on, you put them on the wrist. And wait a minute, we playing ball, we going jogging. If you got long hair, you need that headband, right? You need that headband. Keep your shit right. Otherwise, you want to have hair flapping in your face, looking like a. Trust me, I had my hair long when I played ball. Pain in my ass if I didn't have something to keep my hair up. And then you got the little Unheard of. Oh, this is cool. I'm going to pump you up. Look at him, the flex. Can we do the yeet with him? Yeet, yeet. There you go. And then to show you guys the inside of the box. Just like those heart candies, they have all the different sayings on them. You got the inside of the box with all the little different sayings. This was a really cool thing Unheard of did. And to be honest with you, when does Unheard of not hit a home run? I'd love to know. Ooh. Sorry, I threw that on the floor by accident. But throw all this back in the box so we can keep it going. But thank you, Phil, from Unheard of. This is a super dope-ass pair. Unheard of always hits the home run, which is why I usually try to get all their shoes. We grabbed the ones with the briefcase. I got the ones before that with the cassette box. Got my mouse I threw on the floor. All right, it still works. Yep, there we go. But thank you again, Phil, man. Super dope pair. If you pick these up and you've been wearing them, let me know if you think they're comfortable, not comfortable. As you obviously, I have not put mine on feet yet. But now that I got to unbox them here tonight, the minute I get a day, because we got rain the rest of the week, they're saying out here, but the minute that's done, I'm going to throw my Bret Hart hoodie on and those on. Yo, what up to Craze? He said, what up, family? Got to stop by and speak to the fam. My boy, what's goody? And now, so the theme wasn't just Ghostbusters. It was kind of gadgets. And, who better for gadgets, right, than the Ghostbusters? So if you want to talk gadgets, we got to shout out our good boy Terrence, because he had the coolest gadget I've ever seen someone on a live, period, whether it be my live or somebody else's live with. And that's right. That was with the OG Dick Tracy watch. This thing is so cool and badass. So I know some of you guys, girls, cats, might be too young for this. Yo, what up, whoop up? But for anybody who's not, all my older guys who like Dick Tracy and grew up on Dick Tracy, you know about this. It's the box. So hopefully next Tuesday, we're going to have this on our wrist when we go live. So, cool as shit. Cannot go wrong with the Dick Tracy watch. And we just heating up. So, let me do this one right. So, we got I got two last goodies for you guys tonight. From me. Just from me, I got two last goodies. You still got a lot more goodies to come tonight, but I mean from me. So we're going to start with why I got that picture for you guys all tonight. Ghostbusters Afterlife popcorn bucket. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a laugh. So even the same way shoes have samples, popcorn buckets even have a sample. And for the Ghostbuster sample, to know if you have the regular popcorn bucket or the sample version of it, it's only a one minor factor. It's not a big deal at all, but right here would be a ladder going down the side. So if you don't have that ladder, you know what version you got, which is why I was actually a pain in the ass and tried to find it without the ladder, which was not that easy to do. But this thing is cool as shit. You got the flashing lights. The wheels, unfortunately, don't move. I think it would have been way better if the wheels moved on it. But it's got the flashing lights, so that's cool as shit. I ain't mad at it. And just like that, you got the button right there. Turn it on and off. And that's the popcorn part. Or if you want to put figures, whatever you want to put in it, you can put it right there. That's the popcorn bucket part. And we're going to do some cool videos on all this stuff in the next weeks to come, because we're hoping this might actually be our last live not monetized. Fingers crossed for that one. But that's what we're looking like. So fingers crossed. We got one more box for you. Just see who jumped in real quick. Yo, Mr. Old School. Half of the Heel Squad Tag Team Championship. Pinkies up. The man who mollywops people with chairs. And we got none other than the 4-time champion of the world, Mr. G-Face himself. First off, G, happy mother effing 12K. He just hit 12 effing K. So if you're not showing my man G some love and some support, first off, F you for not doing that. And make it right and go do that. So I'll take that F you back. But G, I want to congratulate you, man, for that. That is awesome, bro. Nothing but going up, man. And that man is none other than all four-time, whether it be in the baseball arena, which he was whooping ass earlier today if you were watching, whether it be in the sneaker arena, whooping that ass. He is a hooligan back-to-back annual champion, whether it be in the kitchen making something delicious, whether it be breaking me in the Rob the Beard's internet. This man is Ric Flair. Woo! Never replicated, never duplicated, 1 in a million, the living legend, all 4-time soon-to-be belt collector champion of the world, G. Face, Mr. 12,000! All right. And now, to the last unboxing I have for you guys tonight. And we weren't going to get one without the other. Same way we like to complete sets with sneakers, I like to complete sets with popcorn buckets just as much. So this one is from the movie Frozen Empire. As you can see, the box. See what the box looks like all around. Now, this one they're very similar, both cars, obviously. It's the Ghostbuster car, but the other car was beat up. It had the marks because, in that movie, they had found the car, the kids. It was in a garage for years under that blanket, not had it moved in God knows how long. Where in Frozen Empire, now the car's working, it's back to its prime. So very similar to the other popcorn bucket also. It opens the same way. The wheels also don't move, unfortunately. You got your ladder. And I knocked off an oxygen tank thingamajig that I got to put back on that you can see rolling back and forth, but whatever. That's a later problem. And the lights are actually even better on this one. As you can see, they're way brighter, way cooler. Like, I don't think it does anything other than that. Yeah, just that. Fine. They did a phenomenal job with the Ghostbuster car. Cool as shit. Turn the lights off before I give myself a headache. The only thing I would have liked more with it is if the wheels itself moved. I think that would have been a lot cooler. But it's Ghostbusters. It's still cool as shit. Can't go wrong with it. And just in case you missed earlier, when in the summertime, we had also picked up this Ghostbuster bucket that came out a while back. And it's the trap right here lights up a little bit. And right there lights up when you hit the switch. Which is cool. And I still would like to get around to what I told you guys, girls, cats, and dogs who remember in the summer. I want to try to modify it and add to that the foot pedal. I just don't have a clue how. So when I figure that out, you'll have it. But just one quick to go back with you. The reason we went with this hat tonight, obviously, was for the shoes. So first time we actually unds'd this hat tonight. I had not worn this hat yet. Had it for a little bit. And I had originally grabbed it for another pair of shoes, but to be honest with you, it's perfect. Perfect match. So, yeet to that. So, first, I'm gonna bring on some of our usual suspects, and then we're gonna bring on our special guest for the night that's going to join us. So let me start off with none other than Bull.
Yo,
What's
going
How
on,
are
homie?
you tonight, Bulldog?
Oh, hanging in there, bro. Allergies whooping me, but we still in the fight.
There you go. That's right. He said never lower the right. That's it. Just never lower the right. And we got none other than fuck Area 51. That shit outdated, overrated. We got the living legend, Area 13 up in the building. What is goody, Area?
Salutes.
And there's no party like a party when you got your sponsor in the building with you. And as always, we are sponsored by none other than Money Fresh Clothing. So make sure you stay tapped in with Money Fresh, Wolfpack, and Soli. Codes 10% off for everything you need. Tap in, get yourself right. Don't look stupid. How are we,
Cheesy has
Money
one for you, bro. Sorry. Hunter, no hello to Big Brother tonight. The fuck? He said.
How are we tonight, Money Fresh?
Yeah, we doing good, man. We doing.
And holy shit. And of course, as always, my StreamYard did my favorite thing where it just lets me think that we're like stopped on comments and then goes. So what up, Rob the Beard?
Salutes.
What up, Lito? I can't believe. So usually it just like does like 6 or 7 comments. This is insane.
What up, Lito?
Cheesy and Bulldog, check the Discord. I left something for you too.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Jeremiah, he said, I bet. Welcome to the Outlaws. Jeremiah got his outlaw race going down. If something strange in the neighborhood, who you gonna call? I can't see. I hate StreamYard when it does this stupid shit. But honestly, it's probably a mix between them and my freaking internet. That's what I need to bring to the strip joint, a trap buster. Leos, yo, you and me gotta go out one night, bro. We gotta go out and party. Yo, Mike Castillo, what's goody? He said, sci-fi author returning to hang out to escape reality. Let's get it.
There you go, Michael.
Yeet. So we had a beautiful, beautiful WrestleMania live watch party. And if you were able to join us, thank you. But the only thing I think that could be better than that watch party is having somebody that was actually live in Vegas himself. And he is also our special guest for the night. So everybody give a nice Wolfpack welcome to Jimmy the Saint.
Yeet.
Salutes.
Day
What up,
one-ish.
Jimmy, what's goody, Oos?
Just chilling, man. Just chilling. pretty much just having, I guess, that WrestleMania hangover, man. Just missing it already.
For real.
WrestleMania ain't over.
Man. Vegas, that's my first time to go there too, man. So,
Oh, damn.
what a city. I
Damn.
definitely will be back.
Crazy, right?
Absolutely.
It's my second home.
I just saw something disturbing in the chat real quick. We are currently at the ER. Wish us luck. Rob the Beard. Hope everything is going all right, broski.
Hope he's
Definitely,
all right,
definitely.
man.
We love you. Prayers to Rob the Beard and the family. Shit. Well, that would explain why he wasn't backstage with us. And
Never a good thing when you have to go to the ER, man.
never, unless it's to be on that on the show the ER years ago.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
But all seriousness, Rob the Beard, let us know if you need anything, Broham. Stay beard.
Sneaker Hunter kept him in business when he was younger, right, Hunter, by sending people there?
Damn right. Get that ER in full business.
You have a quota, Sneaker Hunter? You had to send at least like 5 to 10 people there a day, or
I had to make a decision when
Too much.
See me and Money Fresh, we had a conversation. He said, I'm gonna let you know when you need to shut up.
Oh, man.
Wait, this one's good. This is easy, Money Fresh. Easy. But you let me know if it's too much again. You tell me, I'll stop.
I got you.
I had to make a decision when I was at a young age. Learn how to run fast or learn how to throw a solid right hook. So I tried out both of them. Trying to be the fastest person in the neighborhood running wasn't for me. I ate a lot of ice cream. You know, I didn't have all this man love on me, though. When I was younger, I was a sports kid, but still wasn't really into the running. It just didn't kind of come off real well. So I went the other route, and I said, let me learn how to throw a right hook. And that ended up being fun. And then next thing you knew, I wanted to have fun with everybody who wanted to have fun. Specifically, your average punks, people that like to pick on kids. I love playing with those kids. They're the most fun. But most of the time, they realized that they didn't want to play, unfortunately.
Still.
But Jimmy, thank you so much for coming by tonight. Especially, guys, he was just in Vegas on Thursday to Monday.
Yeah.
So now he's here with us. I'd be in a coma for the next 7 days. So we really appreciate it.
No problem. I know you hit me up, I think, while I don't know what day I was still out there, but I saw and I was all like, well, let me get back to you whenever I get back to this to my house, and then I'll be like, yeah, I'll do it. Because I took off some days after work. So I actually took off like a week after work. So I'm going to go back to next Tuesday.
Oh, that's what's up, bro.
So yeah, just chill pretty much and just relax, just catch up on wrestling and shows.
Dope.
So I got to ask you, what was the main thing you were hoping to do while you were out there?
I mean, dude, it's all of it. WWE World is immersed. It's giant. The Superstore always has exclusive stuff. I know recently they were starting to just sell you can only get one of kind items there. They the manias that I haven't gone there, I see them pop up stuff that was sold there on eBay, and I'm like, holy crap, that's nice. Or they'd just be clothing and stuff that's just I was there. Only stuff you can get on there, not their website. They may eventually put some stuff on the website, but
they got that stuff that you can only get by going.
Yeah, and there's people dropping mad money on belts. I saw in some group I'm a part of on Facebook, Mania Club. Some guy dropped bought 3 belts and was dropped $5,000 on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's Swarovski crystals. They have better things. They may have been signed by somebody. They usually have these big gold belts they usually release around WrestleMania. that's only exclusive to that, and they just throw on better materials on it. So, you know, you want a belt that you don't want anyone else around the corner to have, you know, that you won't run into maybe miles away. You know, that's the place to get something from. You know, we all like exclusive shit, like exclusive shoes. You don't want to be at a party and you're like, you got your Jordan Concords on and 10 other fools got it on too.
Yeah. Did you see the wrestling cards, the ones that were going for $400?
Yeah, I saw them. I'm not, you know, like I think they're cool and everything like that, but I haven't got back into cards yet. I know there's, you know, if I did, I want those, like, you know, I want to pull a 1 of 1, but I know that's freaking hard as hell to do.
They're going for $1,000, bro. That was an easy flip for a pair of shoes or 2 pairs.
Shit.
Crazy.
Yeah, I wasn't even trying to get the 101. I was just trying to get the damn box.
Right. We tried. Yeah, we took an L.
We took a big L on that. Yo, what up, Ty? Our sneaker ninja chef in the building with Goody Ty Ninja.
Yeah, cards are just a whole new beast again now. Whether it's Pokemon, whether it's sports cards, or everything, you know. I know my little brother's kind of like into the Pokemon thing, but he does it for his kids too. But he knows what's kind of rare, so if he can get a hold on a box, he may just hold on to it and then flip it later.
So Jimmy, how many WrestleMania? Because I noticed when you said you've been to more than one WrestleMania.
Yeah, because 2 have happened here in Texas. I live close to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I went to 32 was my first one, and then 38 was the second one they did over here, and then 34 was in New Orleans, which wasn't too far, so that I went to that one, and then of course Vegas, so that's number 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
4 WrestleManias you've been to.
A lot easier when it's here in Texas because then I'm not paying as much for Ubers. I'm using my own car. I'm using the TRE train from Fort Worth to Dallas that drops you off right in front of the double AC where you can go see the Luca-less Mavs.
What up, C. Marie, the right-hand woman?
So Jimmy lives next to Sir Loco and Ghost Rider, bro. They're both in the
you gotta link up.
Yeah, I live like maybe like 30 minutes away from Fort Worth, so I'm a town called Granbury, but it's not Dallas. Fort Worth's not too far. Although Dallas is a bit of a drive, but I usually hop on the train and get on there.
It was nice, bro. I went there 2-3 years ago. We had a blast. Yeah. Stockyards.
Yeah, Stockyards is an adventure. I used to go there like when I turned 18, we'd go clubbing around that area. It's not all country club. It's like the DJ would flip it and there would be country dancing, then he'd flip it onto like hip hop and top 40 and stuff. It's weird seeing shit kickers and people from the hood mix, but sometimes it's a good mix, sometimes it's bad.
Young Buck, I got you next week, Young Buck. Thank you for coming through as always, my Young Buck. And hey, like I always tell you, school is first. Because if you want, when you get older, you know, you want to get a good job so you can buy all this cool shit you see us doing. We don't do this without going to school and doing the right things in life. So thank you.
In school, like my dumb ass. I mean, like my smart self. Nah, I'm joking.
So Jimmy, I'm gonna warn you ahead of time. Berto's in the chat, so I'm just gonna give you a heads up if you have sensitive hearing. Just letting you know, giving you a fair warning right now, because when Berto comes in the chat, my neighbors know. Because we usually like to say hello to Berto like this. Berto, what's good? I want to give you a fair warning just in case.
Your neighbors like knock on the wall, like, "Hey, shut the fuck up."
If I was in New York still, they would be. Oh man, my neighbor would actually. You'd see my neighbor come in the house, and we'd start throwing hands on the live over it. But because I'm in the Carolinas now, there's a good amount of distance. But I would get from my one neighbor, I'd get "What's up, Berto?" from them, and I'd be like, "What do you mean?" They'd be like, "I don't know. We just heard you yelling Berto multiple times the other night." And I started laughing. I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know you could hear that." I was live, and they're like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I left, and the next time I saw them, they're like, "But by the way, you never told us what's a Berto." I said, "Oh no, my homie." And they just had this like baffled look, like,
You should have told him it was just like that's only on a need to know basis, so they keep him in suspense. They just be like, "What's Birdo, man? I don't know, man."
I think my other neighbors they're just cursing me like we don't even want to talk to him anymore. F him.
No, like, hey, come on over for a drink.
Yeah, not anymore. Not after that night. After that night, it was, hey, how's it going? Maybe he didn't hear me. he didn't even look at me back. But
He's just like walking the straight line, running.
Meow meow in the building.
did you say meow meows in the bill? Come on, StreamYard, catch up with the chat.
What up, Birdo?
There we go. Yo, King Heel, what up? Meow meow, Ryan the Heel Squad. And another huge wrestling guy right here, Ryan the Heel Squad. Hey, our friend Jimmy was at WrestleMania this year. Yeet. So Jimmy, who did you? I know you met a bunch of guys when you were down there.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you get to meet?
I have some. So when you do the meet and greets, you pay for the photo ops and stuff. They print out a free like 8x10 of them. So I got them all down here and stuff,
Ooh.
along with several things that I have signed. Put that over here. So I met Cross and Scarlett, which I actually, one of the events that's not a WWE event, I went to the GCW Bloodsport. They had a lot of WWE people on there. You got to see a whole different side of Natalia, man. She was flipping people off and she came in black, and she almost got in a fight with the NWA wrestler outside. So if you've never seen Bloodsport, NXT Underground took their concept. Theirs is a little bit more polished, more professional looking. This is like more gritty. You know, GCW is kind of more of like a lower independent organization, but they under this new regime that Triple H has, they let WWE people go in there. So Natalia wasn't the only WWE person competing on there, and they have like rules. You know, you can, no biting, no kicking. It's kind of like almost like MMA-esque type of stuff. There's no bouncing off the ropes. Carmen Petrovic from NXT, the girl with the sword, if you see her on TV, short little blonde hair girl. She's actually got a martial arts background, so she competed. This guy, of course, did compete. Cross.
Carrying Cross. I love that guy.
He took on some big dude, and it was crazy.
Did he win?
Yeah, he won.
Good.
It was back and forth, man. For a while, this big dude was, kind of just like, shooting him to the side and kind of laughing, but Cross got him. Cross is in a gi fighting. Shayna Baszler was there. She's done a couple of them. Charles Dempsey, William Regal's kid, was in there.
He's doing fantastic, William.
Yeah, him and the No Quarter Catch crew. Ren Sinclair is pretty cool on there. She's the only girl that's in that group. And then there's some dude that's with them. I can't think of what his name was. He's like the big black dude in the group. He's got like long kind of like hair. I can't think of his name, but he was in there too, and he dominated.
Yo, he's a monster in that group. He's perfect for that group because they're all Olympic wrestlers, right?
Yeah. Ren was just kind of like, she saw them dumping a body in the back of the car, the NXT parking lot. She stumbled upon it, and then she's like,
I remember that kid.
I won't tell what I saw. Just let me join the group. And so she's been kind of over there with them.
You said they just stumbled. She stumbled upon seeing a body get thrown in a car. See Money Fresh's head go. Wait, what?
Yeah. Like they say the NXT.
You thought it was me saying that for me. He was about to go Hunter. I know. I saw that look.
Right.
It wasn't me.
Tony D'Angelo was doing that to people. Like the guy that got, I guess they let go of the company. They put him in the back and they say, well, Tony's like, he's swimming with the fishes now. The one remember is Tony D'Angelo, Stacks, and some other guy, and they released him, and they just kind of just wrote him off by like, oh yeah, they just put him in the back of a car. And it's
said
it's that. G-Face. That's definitely ECW 5 because I went for night 2 to Joey Janela's spring break, and I'll tell you what happened later that night. But the whole Bloodsport thing, I remember Cross said he was to compete, so I went on Instagram and I said, okay, I'm going to be in Vegas for this. I might need to actually check this out now that you're going to be on there. He actually replied back and he's like, that's what I like to hear. And I'm like, done deal. Like, cause I, now like he's getting a buzz because he went on, he was trying to tell, AJ to be like, hey, do this for pro wrestling, whoop Logan Paul's ass. It's like, do it for us. And he showed up and he's all like, I need you to put the knucks and knock that dude out. And AJ's like, nah. And he's like, AJ's just being selfish.
AJ screwed up.
And then he cut a promo. He walked in and stormed in, and he laid like an F-bomb on it. It's what they call a work shoot. So WWE has knowledge, even though it seems like he's talking bad about them. He's like, I'm not being placed here. I'm not doing this. Fuck the guy in the back. That in the suit and tie is what he ended it with. But it's kind of like, don't know. He's blurring the lines. Like, man, is that real? Is that like part of the show? But I think you just gotta let Triple H work his magic. But yeah, Cross and Scarlett was definitely a plus to meet. Like I said, once Mania hits town, there's so many events that go around, and then whenever I was like, okay, I could go just strictly do all WWE stuff, but independents are all over. The independent wrestling organizations are all over the place, along with like WrestleCon, which is a separate meet and greet type of thing for wrestlers that are not on not on WWE. So like I stayed at their hotel and I saw some people kind of walking around like Tessa Blanchard and her dad.
We got a question for you from Cheesy Soul Cakes. My big bro. He said, Hunter, ask Jimmy to explain his handle. So where does Jimmy the Saint come from?
Actually comes a guy that I work with or whatever, like he's an older Mexican guy, and he basically just said like, he always just called me, yo, Jimmy the Saint, it's like, and he tells me, he's like, you seen this old like gangster movie or whatever? Like I forgot what movie it was he got it from, but he kept calling me that and I just kept running with it. I always say nicknames are given to you. You don't get to name yourself.
Someone else you do not pick your own nickname. If you pick your own nickname, there's a problem.
Yeah. And so I just ran with it. Maybe he saw like, I always kind of like wear sometimes crucifixes and whatever like that on, on a chain.
So in Spanish, he would call you El Santo.
Sometimes he would call me Jimmy the Santo, but he always be like Jimmy the Saint. El Santo sometimes. Because
there is Mexicans, Spanish wrestlers, El Santo, right? Back in the 60s, 70s, I think. Yeah. I think there was like Dos Santos or something like that. Yeah. So I was just all like, I'm cool with running with that name. Another buddy of mine, he came up with the good ones. I'm gonna call you Jimbo Slice, and I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, okay. It's like I'll run with that. Because it's from Mexico. They see my name, they're like Jaime, and I'm like, okay, I'll run with that too. You can call me Jaime. A lot of people ask if my name really is Jimmy or is it James. I was like, nah, it's Jimmy. Never been a James.
I'm Jimmy the Saint, not James the Saint.
Not James the Saint. Not I've been called Jimmy Jam, Jimmy Jong. When I did radio with my buddy, his nickname is ironically Tofu. We basically did a radio, and he's always been like Jimmy Jong, and he'd be like, it'd just be like a morning show that we do out in Stephenville, Texas. It's a blend of shit kickers and people from all over going into there. One time I saw a bad fight where it was shit kickers versus the Hood in a bar, and I was like, yeah, bottles got broken and chairs got thrown.
Shit, Mr. Old
I'm all like, oh crap. I'm like, I'm just kind of just standing back, just drinking a beer, and I'm like, well, shit happens.
Now you just said you did radio. How long did you do radio for?
At college, I did it for like at least 2 years, because I went to a junior college and I went to a 4-year university.
Were you going for that, or that just kind of happened?
I was always interested, and then I started making friends out there, and they're like, oh, we should do a morning show. I did a separate show with one other guy, and then all of a sudden someone's like, hey, we should do the morning show and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, cool. I did want to go into radio. I worked for CBS Radio as a promotions assistant, but that went nowhere. You got paid. The thing about radio, when you hear it and stuff, sounds glamorous and stuff. There's no money in it, man. It's just
really. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's no money in it. Like I think I got paid like $8 sometimes to do like backbreaking work, like set up tents and speakers and stuff, and then go out to car dealerships and give away like tickets to some stuff, you know, whatever it be, like a Stars hockey game or something like that. Got to play games to the listeners, kind of make it challenging, take pictures, upload it to the website. Although back then was like when the iPhone was introduced. It was like 2007 when I worked for them. So the iPhone just got introduced. It's not as easy as uploading pictures. They gave me this rickety ass old camera that you had to hold with two hands and take pictures. And then when you put it in the computer, it took forever to load. Whereas now the iPhone, you're just like, you can just do so much stuff now. Like technology has done leaps and bounds. But definitely they were cheap, you know, like they'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll be like, yo, we need a new tent. They're like, oh, just tape it up. I'm like, dude, that looks or the check engine lights on the radio station vehicles. Like, yo, we need to take that in because, you know, we don't want to get stranded out here, you know, but, you know, they're cheap, but, but it was fun and stuff. I made some friends and stuff like that. You know, they'd come party down in Fort Worth. I sometimes go meet them in Dallas and stuff. One girl that I worked with, she was like her other job was doing like promo shots at clubs and stuff. So I got good in with her friends. So she'd be like, hey, we're out in your area.
Nice.
Come on out. And she'd be like, give me my friend. I'd invite my friend and we'd be like, have a whole tray of like shots of Crown Royal. So she'd be like, well, like you go to a club and they're like, oh, there's the Crown Royal girls. They're handing out free shots. So they'll hand out a shot and take a picture with you. And, you know, they'll move on to the next place. And she'd just be like, hey, come follow us to the next one. So I'll be like, all right, cool. But, yeah, like whenever one time for, I think 105.3 The Fan was looking for someone that was what my boss did. My boss was the promotions coordinator. And he's all like, yeah, they have an opening up there. And I was like, all right, cool. And he's like, I'll give him your resume, man. And then months later, I was like, yo, whatever happened with that? He's like, did they ever interview you? He's like, no one even contacted me. And he's like, dude, I gave him your resume, so I don't know what's up with that. And I'm like, it is what it is. It seems just like, you know, I looked around and I saw some other promo people and I'm like, y'all guys have been here for a long time. Y'all still haven't got like raised up, you know, like surely this can't be, because I was a part-time job. I still had a full-time job on top of that because I didn't pay the bills and I needed something to pay rent.
Hells yeah.
So I sold phones like at Walmart for AT&T and T-Mobile. And
hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to pay the bills because ain't nobody else put food on your table.
And I paid more than CBS, you know, and I was just like, all right, well, I got to keep both of them, you know, at least I get a little bit of gas money, but driving from Fort Worth to Dallas, you know, I was like, you know, it was a beating for a while. And then once I experienced I guess what they call a format change, it happens just overnight. You know, we came off like a great event, and then like Monday morning, they flipped the radio station to what we was like, I guess like old school, old stuff, but new stuff. So you would hear like Prince, and then you would hear Justin Timberlake. And it was called Moving 107.5. But overnight, they're like, well, someone from New York decided to flip the switch. Y'all are now a Spanish station. And it's all like, and then they just had me work for the.
I told you, man, we're a special kind of asshole in New York.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, okay, well, it is what it is. So I worked maybe like 5 weeks after that, and then I was just like, all right, time to just be like, just work one job, you know, not go days without having a break.
Jimmy, who is next that we have on the list that you got to meet while being in Vegas?
Here we go. The timeless beauty, Trish Stratus.
Wow,
the woman. I told her, it's like, yo, it's like, you're not like my old crush, you're like forever. You're like my forever.
Yeah,
crush. She better with age. So I was just like, I had to meet her. I think it's like my second time meeting her. So yeah, like Trish. I had her sign a photo. I did the meet and greet, so I had her sign.
Okay.
We ain't mad at you. Take your time. Take your time with this.
You
photo.
got any of those on the mystery boxes there, Money Fresh?
No, but it could probably be arranged.
We can make it work. Tell them, bro, make it work. What a beautiful photo to get signed. Prestige.
I can blow it up for you. And put it on the
it's a little bit risque, but I was like, that was when the Right to Censor just came on, and so I was like, you know, and it's like whenever I hear that sound, she's like, oh, so when you hear that sound, you immediately think of that, like pretty much. she's pretty cool. She's pretty cool and everything like that. So I'm always a fan. Hopefully, signed her puppies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Trish is awesome. So got to meet her. Let's see the next photo. The one and only Dakota Kai.
Oh, she's so awesome.
Damage Control. I told her I've been a fan since she was Evie. Whenever she was like wrestling for smaller promotions, she went under the name Evie, and I was like, I've been a fan on Team Kick since that time. She's like, oh my god, thank you. Like,
same.
It's good to hear like they, you know them, not just in WWE, but you knew them before or whatever like that. I remember she was on NXT.
Yep.
And she was under Evie, and she got squashed by Nia Jax. And in the matchup, she just looked terrified as like Nia came in and was gonna just pretty much derail her.
And then they had they made Shayna abuse her too. I was so mad. She's so good.
Yeah, she's good. And I also had her sign an Elite figure.
Oh shit, that's dope.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. Although sometimes the Elite figure got damaged a bit on travel, so I need to next time around I need to go into get some cases, and hopefully that will, or put them in my carry-on so that way they're beside me, and that way I know that they won't get damaged. But this is for me, so it's not like it doesn't need to be pristine. It's gonna be on my shelf and be like, all right, remember that Dakota Kai, one of my faves, always a cool girl. Love Damage Control. I don't know if that group's still going to be in, I think it is. I think it's still good. I think Io's still champion and she still cheers on Io. Asuka is still injured. Kyrie's probably gonna make a return. Kyrie got buff if you follow her on Instagram. Like
really?
She's a lot bigger. Like she's been hitting the weights.
Holy
I'm not thinking it's like the Ultimate Warrior.
Damn.
But she's definitely putting in work in the gym. So I hope maybe she gets a single run.
God bless.
Thank you. Let's see then. Oh yeah, let me get another one. Just my personal favorite, Bailey.
Woo!
Yeah, love Bailey. I'm sad that she was not on the card, or she got injured, and then like she's not like it's legitimately injured, but they have something planned for her. Because she was supposed to team with Lyra, and then Becky made her return.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is this shit?
I didn't even hear. I had to go look it up and be like, when did Bailey get injured? And then I found it, and I was like, oh, crap. And I was like, of course, they try to blame Raquel and Liv, and Liv's all like, hey, it was like, you told us we injured Jade, and we didn't do that, so we didn't do this. And as they were like, Raquel said something funny as Bailey's lying there in pain. She's like, oh, pobrecita. And I just started laughing. I was like, damn, Raquel. Like, that is awesome. Which
she's another one who had a transformation.
Pobrecita is like, oh, poor baby.
Yeah.
Bailey had a big transformation. She was such like a small, thin girl, and then next thing you know, she got double the size.
She does post some of her workouts sometimes. I mean, she's doing a lot of weight.
She looks better now though than what she did. So it's good for her.
I mean, I still think of her incredible match at NXT Takeover with Sasha, the Mercedes Moné.
Damn right.
That match still holds up to this day. Like if you got like Peacock, just look that up. Bailey versus Sasha Banks NXT Takeover.
Takeover Brooklyn, right?
Brooklyn, yeah, Brooklyn. Brooklyn
right back.
was so hot.
Yes, sir.
It was just crazy. Like I still remember that match. It's also when WrestleMania was here, Shinsuke Nakamura's debut against Sami Zayn. That was bananas. Everyone was chanting "Fight Forever" in the crowd.
NXT, no pun intended, because their big show was called Stand and Deliver.
Yeah,
always delivers.
Oh, I was there too. Like that, I had to do that Saturday morning. And then try to make it back to my
NXT hotel Saturday morning.
Yeah. Then I had to fight for an Uber. Okay, because these asshole Uber drivers, they have a thing on there where it's shared. You share another ride with somebody else. Okay, it's on there. So I keep selecting that because it's cheaper rate. And I had like one driver's like, no, I don't do shared. As he's driving off, he's like, I'm about to cancel it. He's like, what the hell? And time is ticking. Like it's 1 o'clock, and I have to be at my hotel by 2 to catch the shuttle that I paid for already. There's a shuttle bus by WrestleCon that they'll take you to the stadium, and then they'll take you back. And I'm like, that's easier than dealing with the Uber. And so, because when you let 60, 70,000 people out, everyone's going to be going for an Uber, and they're going to be like $72, for a little short ride back to your hotel. So I went ahead and I found a Lyft guy. This guy was amazing. He got me to the hotel with 2 minutes to spare, and I went up and I was like literally running to the bus, and they're like, "All right, you made it, man." I'm like, "All right," but the thing about it also, they charge. So I looked under like my Uber account, and I was all like, "Why am I being charged $5?" And they're like, "Oh, you canceled the ride." I was like, I didn't cancel the ride. Like these drivers did. So I had to go dispute it, and they refunded me it. So always remember, if they cancel on y'all guys, look on there and make sure you're not getting charged that little $5 fee. Because if it's there and you don't know it, you're just gonna be like, "Oh, I don't know where that $5 went," because it's not like big enough to. But I looked and I was like, "What the?" It's like, wasn't me, and I put on there.
I did not know that.
Yeah, beware, man. Like, I mean, I don't know if that's a thing, like a common practice, but like, like a driver that was taking me to the airport, he's like, yeah, that driver, he's like, look, right here, I could turn off that thing where I don't accept it. As I like, the drivers had the power to do that, but they, for whatever reason, I was like, I think they're just trying to get a little $5 charge or some type of Skrilla for that little tiny ride that maybe I didn't take, maybe they get a little piece of it and I get a cancellation fee if I didn't check up on my shit.
Yep.
So yeah, and I'll show another one. The lovely Jade Cargill.
Whoo.
I liked her since AEW. I didn't know where they were gonna go with her. Pretty much just kind of left her do the undefeated Goldberg streak, and then it's like after she lost the title, she was ready to go elsewhere. And it's like, why wouldn't you put her for the challenge to the main title? Like, why would you just keep her at the secondary title? And then as soon as but she made up her mind. She knew where she wanted to go. And, she had an amazing match with Naomi at Mania. That thing that she did where she threw Naomi off and turned around and caught her and powerbombed her. I was like, what? I'm all like, that takes precision. I mean, that could be a horrible botch. If
I still feel though that we should have had her in NXT first so she could get better, but I get it. She ain't gonna leave AEW then. If they would have told her that.
She's probably been going down to that performance center anytime that she has time. Probably when she was on her hiatus, they said she was going to the PC and just fine tuning. I imagine any wrestler has that opportunity to go down there. Just up and some. That's what CM Punk did. He worked with Carmelo Hayes, Lexus King, Trick Williams, 2 others, I think. Yeah, they were just pretty much just running the ropes, and he's like, these guys are kicking my ass. And they're like, they're picking his brain, and he's getting back into shape to where he can perform at an elite level. So that's the beauty out of PC, and I wish AEW would get something like that. Because some of those wrestlers are not wrestling. I mean, some of those wrestlers are not ready for TV. What up, Graham?
Yo, GTC.
Good seeing you. Good hitting you, Graham. But yeah, like some of those, people think if you criticize AEW, you hate it. I'm like, no, I want them to get better. It's like some of the stuff you just kind of like, if you're trying to like, if you have someone that's like introducing to wrestling and then they see something and it's, a horrible, botch or something like that, or it's not good on, Dynamite, they're like, what am I watching? Yeah, they're more familiar with, I know who CM Punk is. I know who John Cena is. And, they'll watch that and they'll just be like, wow, that is amazing. It's just like, apples to oranges, it's WWE's, under Triple H, they're running things and, they bought AAA. I mean, that was a shocker.
Like, I never saw that coming.
Vikingo
working with TNA either, though.
Oh, Joe Hendry is just all over the map, man.
Joe Hendry,
I believe. If I could I don't get TNA on TV, so I don't get to watch it, but I still keep up with it. But like it's on TV, but it's on a channel that I don't get on YouTube TV.
So it's like the Texas Rangers and the Dallas Mavs. I'm like, I don't get it on YouTube TV, or I can get their app and pay $100 to watch it, but I'd be like, I wouldn't be able to watch all the games. So it is what it is.
I got something for you when we're backstage. I have to help you out.
Gotcha. All right. Here's I think my final picture that I got. The lovely Chelsea Green.
She is such a smoke show.
She is cool as hell. Like I gave her like one of these like the CM Punk bracelet and stuff. Kind of like I have this one. This one that says "Luck is for losers." If I ever meet Punk, I'd give him this and be like that. But I gave her one that I made that said the Green Administration or Green Admin because administration is too long. And she gave it to me. She's like, I was like, I can't put you in a secret service, but you could be in the it's like you could be an honorary member, a handsome honorary member. I'm like, I like to hear that. So she's like, oh, and matches my jersey too. So Chelsea Green is super cool. Happy for her. I met her at WrestleCon when WrestleMania 38 happened, and I told her that. She's like, oh yeah. It's like that's awesome. Like, you know, when you see them and they're not wrestling for WWE, and then years later they're just doing amazing. You know, she's the first United States champion. I met her and Cardona. Matt Cardona is killing it on the indies.
Yo, he really is. Like, I know he didn't want to leave, and he was worried when he got let go, but best.
Dude, I mean, he had that moment in GCW when he won their heavyweight title, and the fans started throwing garbage in the ring, NWO style, like when the NWO used to, yeah,
like that was just like priceless. Super. Thank you for coming through, sis. GT said Stephanie.
Yes. I don't know
if
I think my sign made it on TV.
Yo, Double Up, what up, bro?
What's goody?
I was actually just talking wrestling with him earlier today.
Oh, really? Double Up's a good guy. But on NXT TakeOver, my sign I think made it on TV. It basically said, Stephanie Bakur, please give me Booker T's move. If you see the reel of her doing it, my sign pops up at the end and you can see it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was like, oh man, like I hope this makes it, because I took the night like the night before, I was like up late and I was like, all right, let me make the signs. I don't have to make it in the morning. And I was like, what am I gonna write? And I'm like, oh, okay, there we go. And of course, some other people had a thing where Booker's always like when she's doing the move, and I'm like, man, yeah, Stephanie Bakur is one of my favorites, and it's crazy that she was, you know, she did the Mercedes Moné match, and you know, both companies, AEW and WWE, were fighting for her, and AEW was going to pay her more money, but her dream was to wrestle for WWE. And when she went to them, she said, hey, this is what they're going to offer. WWE's like, well, we can't match that offer, so if you do take AEW, like, we wish you good luck. And she was just conflicted. And then Shawn Michaels, HBK, called her and basically was like, hey, you know, like, we would love to have you, but, you know, you pick whatever, you know, I think he basically said, like, you gotta, you know, what you want to do, you know, you'll be happy. You know, you got to do something that's going to make you happy. So when you do it, you know, that you're going to feel better on it. And she took the WWE deal and stuff. So it's just like, you know, you kind of wonder, had she taken the AEW deal, where would she be? Would she be featured prominently? Because it seems like her level just raised when she did the whole thing with the NXT, and she could have went to the main roster. And they basically told her, like, you have your pick. And she's like, well, I want to learn English better, and I want to learn. So she went to NXT, but look, she showed up Monday night, had a match with Io Sky, and that was amazing.
Did terrific.
And Julia was in the mix, Roxanne, and then, of course, Mommy. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, this Raw is amazing. I had to stay away from the spoilers or whatever. Oh, yeah. That's true.
You got back money on sponsorships, Double Up E said. GT also said he's got to go back and watch now. He wants to go look for you, see if he sees your sign. And me too. GT said AEW is dog shit. I've tried. Trust me, I have. I can't watch the bullshit. Honestly, I'm not doing so good with watching AEW like these days either.
So
I
there's,
liked it, but now not
there's
really.
some spots, but mostly it's kind of on in the background, like, Edge. I still call him Edge. I know he's Cope.
No, he's Edge. He's Edge. I'm with
Edge.
you.
Yeah.
He's forever Edge. Fuck Adam Copeland. No,
That
he's Edge. We grew up on Edge.
Yeah.
We didn't grow up on Adam. No, we grew up on Edge, the rated R superstar who in real life will take your girl and talk about it on TV afterwards.
I think the only person that may have left WWE and did way better in AEW is Tony Storm.
Tony Storm
with her whole timeless gimmick. I think that was one of the few bright spots you could see in the show. But also, I met this woman at WrestleCon, the Megasis Megan Bain, who debuted, and she's been amazing on AEW, but she was way better at GCW. Joey Janela's Spring Break.
Oh, yeah, yummy.
And ironically, that fool's going out with her.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, they're hooked up. They're boyfriend and girlfriend. And I'm like, Joey Janela's
with her.
Yeah. And I told her, and I even told her at WrestleCon, like, I hope they push you to the moon. She's like, I hope I hope so too. She seemed she doesn't know like what they're gonna do with her, whether they push her and then they're like done, because it seems like they rush through stuff rather than kind of make it. Oh, you went to the live. That's not good. I was thinking that maybe like you would get something out of going live, but I've heard that from a few people. The hard camp side probably was Graham, but yeah, Megan Bang took on this other big woman called Bozilla, and they were throwing down at GCW. Like it was just insane, and she was presented as like Thor's coming down and ready to rain. On AEW, it seems like it's a little bit different presented. It's all like, but I saw her taking on, I guess, two women in a handicap match. And after the match, she picked both of them up and she's like, y'all both need to bow down, and just slams their faces to the mat. And I'm like, she needs to start doing that.
Okay.
But it seems like, from what I hear, some people give them ideas at AEW, and Tony's like, yeah, okay, or maybe they don't get a chance to talk to him because it's one man. It's like where WWE has a staff of people, and it's not like you could talk to Hunter. Of course, Triple H is approachable and stuff.
Absolutely.
Where Vince wasn't probably. So, and essentially,
Vince had his favorites where even though Hunter has his favorites, he's still willing to talk to his non-favorites. Like
exactly.
Where Vince was kind of like, yeah, I'm busy.
It's like, hey there, pal, don't come to my office smoking.
And Vince was so like 10 years behind everybody. I remember the MVP thing when MVP tried to explain to him what bowling was. He was like, so you're going to come down there and you're going to do this thing, you're going to be dribbling basketball? And he's like, no. Bowling. And he's like, I don't get it.
I still remember watching WWF Superstars, and he'd be doing commentary and be like, oh, back body drop. What a maneuver. And then when CM Punk was hurt one time, he just like mockingly said that. He's like, oh my God, what a maneuver. Like, Punk, you are just killing it, man.
Double Up said his highlights was Samoa Joe and he saw Jericho, but he didn't wrestle.
Jericho.
Now, Samoa Joe is a guy I would absolutely change the channel to watch in a match. Yeah. Always been a huge Samoa Joe fan. Kind of wish he wouldn't have stood with WWE, but I understand shit happens. He wasn't getting.
I think an injury happened or something,
They were worried about putting him back on TV. They thought maybe he had one too many falls, and they wanted to try to transition him into an announcer, actually.
He was
like, I'm not an announcer. Now, you would think they learned the mistake that they did with Macho Man. They tried doing the same thing with Macho Man, telling him, yo, you're
right past your hill.
You're done wrestling, being an announcer.
Yeah.
And what happened? Macho Man had one of the best runs ever in WCW. But
you know, it would have been good to see him come back during that Attitude Era, which he was rumored but never happened. You know,
for real. Miranda, is everything all right? Rob told me you guys were at the ER, but I didn't know why you were at the ER. Actually, though, I didn't
Hey,
know if
Miranda.
you guys were at the ER for you.
He whooped on Rob, bro. He didn't tell you?
No. Miranda, you put Rob in the ER? Because if so, good stuff. That's what he gets.
Good stuff.
Double Up D says Samoa Joe put on a great match. Honestly, I don't think there's a time where you have that conversation where he doesn't.
you know,
Always a professional.
I was there for the pay-per-view or PLE of when he took on Brock Lesnar here in Dallas, the Great Balls of Fire. Dude, it was just two brutal big guys, power move after power move. It was a short match, but man, those two boys were just giving like it wasn't even like we're gonna have rest holds or anything. It was just like power move after power move after power move, man. I was just all like, I was looking at my watch, I was like, man, they don't got that much time, but in that short amount of time, they did so much. And I was just all like, you know, it's two big boys. You know, you have Brock Lesnar's a legitimate, like, former UFC champion, and you have Joe, who's just Samoan badass that may or may not have lineage to the bloodline. We don't know, you know.
Kevin said, "Hey, Money, what's that hat?" That's the Money Fresh official hat. He has
one of my truckers. Or I should say a trucker sample.
Nice.
Is it on the site already?
I believe it is.
And Kevin, if it's not Kevin, message him. Miranda said no, she didn't put Rob in the hospital. She said Xander got hurt at his ball game. But he's okay. God bless you.
Thank you.
But Xander's okay? My little nephew is good money? No pun intended, money.
You did.
Let us know, Miranda. I want to make sure Xander's good. GT says, Samoa Joe, I always love watching, even in the TNA. The TNA days is where Samoa Joe became, for me at least, that's when Samoa Joe, I found out about Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. I didn't really watch Ring of Honor when they were there. I watched TNA, and then I went back and watched the old Ring of Honor days to see what they did there.
I first saw AJ Styles on the dying days of WCW Nitro when he was there for.
I didn't even remember him when he did that.
He was barely getting started.
Barely. You know? Yep.
But he's definitely a highlight reel type of guy. And then shortly after that, Vince bought the company.
Easily. AJ Styles is the fucking GOAT. That man, so amazing. He took the Bullet Club from here, and I'm off screen. That's how high he took it.
That's a good transition because I got to meet the man too, and he signed this Ultimate Edition figure for me.
Oh man, that is so awesome.
You know, if they would have made these from the start, I would have just got the Ultimates and just skipped out on the Elites and just waited for them to make whoever, you know, because now they got like a whole lineup.
Right.
But now I'm still going to get some Elites whenever someone comes out and stuff. But yeah, man, I was so happy to get this signed. I was just all like, and he's always a cool dude to meet. You know, give you the back on that.
Quick question for Jimmy. Jimmy, all this stuff that you're showing us,
yeah.
How long did it take you to get it? Autograph, pictures? Like, was it a whole day event for you, or?
Yeah. Like, basically on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday are the 3 days I went to WWE World to do this, and you really have to some of these signings are happening at the same time, so I have to go like get ahead at the one of the lines and then go to the other one. Like Bailey and Chelsea had like one had a photo op and then an autograph signing that starting around the same time, so I had to go in there. You know, I was pretty much hours at WWE World, just basically just standing in line, and then, you know, they have stuff at the stage, so while you're in there you can just look over in the stage, and Cody Rhodes is coming out with Brandy to explain that they're getting a new Elite figure with, you know, and
it's amazing to see. Or they have, you know, they always have stuff just going around. You know, to the left of you be the Cactus Jack WWE merch, which I just ordered online because it's you know, is a little bit cheaper rather than going through there. There was one that had CM Punk with the gloves like that. And
Yeah,
it
that
had
was fire.
the X on that, and it was a Cactus Jack WWE collab. I didn't see it over there at the store, and I didn't want to stand in line for them to tell me like, "Oh, we don't have it." So
I don't blame
like,
you.
yeah, so I was just like, I'll just order it off whenever it went live, and I'll just do it that way, along with other stuff that I can order on shop. So I was like cool with that, but I saw lines for that Cactus Jack merch every day I was there. There was always a line going into it, and I was like, and it's separate from the Superstore. You actually had to pay for a ticket to go to WWE World to purchase that. Yeah,
Balls on them.
yeah, because I looked around the WWE stores like, where's the Cactus? I guess it got sold out completely. And then when I go into WWE World, I was like, oh, there it is. I was like, you have to come in here to get it. And I was like, gotcha.
Smart move.
When you were looking around and you've seen fans with the belts,
Yeah.
What would you say the most common belt you saw people with?
The one that I guess like Cody's holding, or that John Cena now has now, the Universal, the one with the new age WWE logo that's in the middle of it. That's the most that I saw. I did see a few John Cena spinner ones. The Stone Cold Smoking Skull belt. A lot of Wing Eagle titles.
Now that's mine right there.
Yeah, that's what I do have one. I have
title. You have it?
I have the Ultimate Warrior one.
Oh shit!
The Warrior Edition. It's like a teal belt, but it's just a regular Wing Eagle.
Well, wait.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit, Ultimate Warrior. Damn, say less.
Yeah, right? Shit. You had us at Ultimate. We knew what was Warriors was coming next.
Damn, it's dope, Jimmy. It's crazy, bro. Who would have known? Big wrestling fan.
And the funny thing was, I had found out that Jimmy was this big wrestling fan. So I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this WrestleMania live party. Lot, you know, if you're not going anywhere." And he's like, "No, I'm actually going somewhere." I was like, "Ah, nice, going to a party." He said, "Yeah, at WrestleMania." I was like, "No, that's awesome!
Yeah.
Look at it.
This
Look
is
at
like
the bling."
Wow.
the Ultimate Warrior had it in this color, so that's why they make it in this teal color, because that's what he had as far as everything else. I saw one guy that had a custom-made version of this belt, but it was with the black strap, and he had a lot of signatures, and he was trying to get everyone that held that belt on, but he had it custom made, and it was way bigger than this. And he let me hold it, and I was like, "Holy crap, man!" Like, I told him, "Like, are you familiar with Dragon Ball Z?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "So when you take that off, you're gonna be like faster and stronger. It's like when they wear the weighted clothing and train." And he's like, "Yeah, no joke." But I mean, he was like, he had it, and I was like, "Good." And I was like, I saw him in line, and I was just like, "Dude, I noticed that belt." And I was like, "That's way bigger than any of the Wing Eagle ones." He said he went through. I guess there's like Pakistani dealers that make custom belts, and they can make them big. They can put stuff on them. They can put real Swarovski crystals. Use real leather. It wasn't like a cheap leather on his thing either.
Wow.
And I was like, "Wow, man, that's impressive." And everyone around me in line too was like, "Yeah, Graham." Ironically, his Wing Eagle title was bigger than the WCW title. That the version he had. Yeah,
that belt's huge. That WCW title is gigantic.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I like the WCW title so much too. It's in my top 5.
But that belt I carried around for only like 2 days because, man, it's a pain in the ass to carry it around. You know, like you're switching shoulders, you have it on your arms, you're setting it down, setting it up. I'm all like, man, my arms felt like I went to hit the gym, and I was all like, man, dude, I feel like there's some like little like curls and stuff with it and everything.
What up, ground kicks?
I'm just like, man, like it's cool to have, but it's a pain in the ass to wear, you know. People would be like, "Oh, cool belt, man," or I was like, it's like, or they want to see it, or they want to be like, "Oh, wow, I've never seen a belt, or I want to get one like that soon," or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, it's like it's just a pain to take around. And then especially if you're like that other guy is getting signatures, that one I'm not getting any signatures from because God rest his soul, Ultimate Warriors, no longer with us. or whatever like that. And I don't really, that's his belt. So why would I get like, someone random on there?
Man, Joe Dizzle's gonna be kicking himself in the ass that he didn't see your Ultimate Warrior belt. He's such a big Ultimate Warrior fan. Make sure you keep it nearby. He may be popping up soon. So
okay, yeah, I got it over here on the floor. All right, so I got another.
I know he's definitely gonna want to see it.
So here's my next thing that I got signed. Met the lovely Zelina Vega. I told her I went to Target like 3 weeks straight trying to find this figure because it was hard to find. It's like one of those ones that like it's it's only at Target. So I told her, it's like, I just kept going back, and she was super cool and everything like that. She was only like slated for autographs, but she was taking pictures at her booth. So I was like, awesome. It's like, I'm gonna get a picture too. So I had that on my IG as well, and it was so cool to meet her. I was all like, that's definitely one that I saw that I was like, okay, I gotta pay and meet her and stuff on that.
Nice.
So that was great. See, Graham was like, did I get the TeLLs? No, I wanted to, man. Like, I want to get the official one. There's so many people that are making like their own or whatever. Y'all guys know about the hats that the MLB made, and they kind of say like, I think they had what's it called? Maybe the A's. It looked like it said the word ass on it.
Yep.
Yeah, and Texas, of course, TeLLs, means titties. So
Jones,
everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah, I'd wear that to everything. Mr. Jones, by God, the living legend, the infamous Jones.
Hell's yeah.
It's almost like a reunion over here with Graham and Double Up and Jones. Oh,
Hey, Hunter.
Graham's all like, man,
I'm finna switch over to my other iPad.
I got you.
All right.
But yeah, let me see what else I got next. Oh, I did meet Bailey, but she also signed my figure. When she first turned to the role model. I think one time when I did meet her and she was out here in Fort Worth, this is before COVID happened. They were gonna go into the new Fort Worth Dickies Arena over here. They're gonna do a show out of it, and so she was here to do like a meet and greet, and she had just turned heel. And I was like, hey, I want to commend you in your heel turn. She's like, oh, no. She's like, I was like, I just became a role model. I was like, oh, you're a role model. My bad. And it was just like, she's never looked back. And I hope there's still something left for her. I know I hope she's a company woman. Like, she doesn't go like elsewhere or anything like that.
For real.
Like we see what happened with Edge and Monet, I think the girl that she's doing something with the puppet, Harley Cameron, I think she is on pace to do something better. Like she could do ventriloquism, and I was all like, normally I'd be like, oh, this is corny, but this is actually funny and good. And she's always like yelling, "Feel the wrath" and stuff, and I'm like, okay, like that's one of the bright spots at AEW is like I like her, so I'm just all like, I'm hoping Bailey stays. Like, don't leave.
I think her not being here is better for Bailey because you always saw when they're both in the same brand, Bailey kind of gets put to the side.
Yeah.
So even though they're best friends, I think business-wise, I think Bailey was happy.
Yeah.
Because that meant...
I think she's wondering what more can she do to be featured more prominently, and I think she's got to be patient. So I think they got her. Triple H knows. He's worked with her during the NXT, so he's just like,
exactly. Those are Triple H girls.
You got to find room, and not everyone can be the champion at the same time.
Exactly. There's only one true champion belt. Jones is so right. He said we all been living our dreams through Jimmy last weekend. 1,000,000,000,000%.
Dude, just Mania is, it was in Vegas, never been to Vegas. I didn't really get to like experience like all of Vegas. I was just mostly doing the
GT Yeet.
That arena was crazy, man. There was a party in there, man. It's just like some people were like, it didn't sound loud on TV. It's like, oh, it was loud the entire time, especially when
they were going Dirty Dom, Dirty,
can't believe
Dirty
he won.
Dom.
I
That
still
was
can't believe Dirty Dom is our IC champion right now.
you know, I had a Judgment Day T-shirt at work, and I wore it, and you know, like not too many people like watch wrestling that much, but they like kids that I worked with. He was all like, "That Dirty Dom," and I'm like, "Oh shit, you know Dirty Dom's?" Like, yeah. It's like I watch it sometimes, and it's like I like him, and I was like, "Oh shit," I was like, "Boo!"
Boo that man.
Boo that man. It's like, are you saying boo or boo earns? I was saying boo earns.
Yo, Jimmy, how about the John Cena, bro? People started booing him and they switched over to cheering him. Was
Yeah. I was cheering for Cody, man, but a lot of people were all like, I mean, there was the battling chance. Someone would be like, "Let's go, Cena," and I'd be like, "Cena sucks." It's just going around, and then when Cody was kind of getting the offensive, I heard a lot more boos. I'm like, "Come on, Cody!" And the people like next to me like, "Boo!" I'm like, "Oh, what?" like y'all forgot this man finished his story and gave us this entire year, didn't sell his soul to the Rock, and you're gonna boo him.
You're gonna and now you're gonna boom. What kind of bullshit is this?
I'd be like, "Not," and you know, pretty much the cameras had caught him, and he just took off with Brandy. He's like, I was like, you just like no comment. I'm like, when are we gonna see Cody? Like, you know,
right? Like,
I understand he probably has a big rest ahead of him and stuff like that, but you know, what if he does go heel ever? I feel like he would go Homelander heel. It'd be like scorched earth on everything.
Like, I think it was amazing though that finally John Cena though is starting to dress a little different. Monday night, black shirt, Travis Scott shoes.
Yeah, I saw that. I was all like, he got rid of those
whole damn time. From the minute Elimination Chamber was over, he should have came out like that, and I would have owned a John Cena shirt for the first time in my life.
Oh, I had to get the one with the playing cards, the door on the back that says "You can't see me." They have cards on the back, and it's like the Vegas one. So I had to get that shirt. Joe, leaving the stadium, I had a shuttle bus that I paid for through WrestleCon, so I had no problems leaving the stadium. That was worth $50. Yeah, because you know it was just me who's day one ish. So yeah, like
you went dolo to WrestleMania.
Yeah. I was, you know, like you would think they'd be like, "Oh, you're going by yourself," but you know, everywhere I went, there was always wrestling fans that chanted with.
Oh, see, a lot of times I used to go a lot of shows dolo too. So I'm so happy to know that you like to go to shows because
like literally. So a story. So I'm like waiting for Uber to go to the GCW Joey Janela show. There's a group of these guys over here, and they're like talking and stuff like that. And they're like, "Hey man, can you take a picture of us?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem, man." And then they see me I have like a track jacket that said ECW on it and stuff like that. And they're like, "That's a sick jacket." And they're like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "I'm going to the Joey." They're like, "Oh, we're going too." And I already had my Uber on the way. And they're like, "Hey, just ride with us, bro."
Let's go.
We're
fans are the best.
Yeah, we're going to the Palms and we're just shooting shit, making jokes.
The Palms.
They didn't know how, like, you know, we're making like Mad TV style jokes and stuff. Like I was doing like Miss Swan impersonation. I was like, "I tell you everything. It's like he look like a man." Like they're all like, "You're like literally one of us," because you know now like you're almost kind of scared to tell a joke because you don't want to offend somebody.
Yeah, bro.
You know, but whenever jokes are like off limits and you're just making whatever, you know, and we're just shooting the shit literally and everything like that, it's fun.
The body breaker.
Yeah.
You know, but it was like in the back, it was like two big guys. Like, you're gonna have to like squeeze a little. And I just literally just dove in and it was like, boom. I was like this, but I was like, hey, like save me an Uber ride. And we had a cool chat all the way to the they were holding it at Palms, so it was in the Palms theaters where GCW held their shows at. And the one person that was saying about is that like a new school ECW. So Sabu ironically wrestled his last match against Joey Janela in a barbed wire rope match. They took the ring ropes down and put barbed wire on it. And Sabu took some sick.
How could he still move like that and do barely moving matches? What's wrong with that man?
He tried to do a triple jump moonsault and he fell into this thing of barbed wire that was held up by like a 2x4s and stuff. The Sandman came out and tried to help him. He did his entrance and he came by near me.
I have the video on my IG that I
What's up,
posted on
South
there.
Jersey?
And I think if I would have moved quicker, I could have gotten to where Sandman could have poured beer from his beer can to on me or whatever like that, because he was like that close and everything like that. So
Sandman's another OG.
yeah, and ironically on my video, he's asking the guy, "All right, where should I go?" And he's like, "Oh, go all the way over there," because he went to like one side of the Palms to the other side, and then went down to the ring to beat up the guys that interfered in the match. I think it's like Atticus Jones and some other guy came in there, and they started beating up Joey Janela and Sabu. And but someone said Sabu may have got something, because in some of the matches, like Joey Janela threw a chair and he just no sold it like nothing.
So wait,
and it made a loud sound too.
I know you know wrestling.
Yeah.
Do you remember when WWE brought back ECW?
Yeah.
The Sandman comes out the first time and he candlesticks the shit out of a guy that they called the zombie.
Yeah. That was after the one night stands, though. The one night stands were spectacular. Then they tried to do the show and everything like that. I remember that Batista versus the Big Show at one of the matches, and the fans started chanting, "Please change the channel. Change the channel." Tell everyone to change the channel, huh?
The zombie?
No, Batista and Big Show during one of those first few shows when WWE brought back ECW. They did it out of the Hammerstein Ballroom, so it wasn't too long after the one night stand. But Batista and Big Show main evented it, and the fans shitted on it. Because you still had that old school ECW fans in New York that showed up to the event, and they were telling people to change the channel.
Oh yeah. So the zombie, he was going to my friend Timmy was going to the Dudley Boys school to learn how to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
He was backstage hoping to get a dark match. And Vince came back and was like, "I got this terrific idea. I want somebody like a zombie to go out there."
Because they were on Sci-Fi.
And he's like, "Who will do it?" And nobody said nothing. So my friend Timmy said, I'm sitting there, I'm saying, screw it. I'll do it then. Who knows? Maybe this will be a shot. Maybe this gets me in the door. So he's like, "I'll do it. Fine." And he's like, Vince walked up to him and said, "I don't have a clue who the hell you are, but great, let's do it." Makeup, dress, get him ready. And they got him ready, and he went out there, and he got his ass whooped. But forever after that, on the Indies, every time he did a show, they would advertise him as
the ECW zombie,
the ECW, WWE's ECW zombie. And I always felt bad for him, because like that one night he was just trying to get his foot in the door, ended up haunting him, because that was not his gimmick. His real gimmick was Tim the Arsenal, and
yeah,
he looked like Triple fucking H.
Really?
Oh my God!
I wouldn't think it was even a zombie.
Like
buff zombie.
It was insane, and I felt so bad that he got stuck in that gimmick that had always pissed him off to the point that he just never got to, he just never got that push.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of it. But it
sucks.
I'm hoping, I was always hoping something would change. He ended up passing away, unfortunately.
Sorry to hear.
Definitely.
He never got the push he needed.
Because sometimes, though, when you get something from WWE and you go into indies, you could charge a lot more, because you're like, he's been on WWE TV, so he's gonna draw in money, and then we can pay him more because he's gonna bring us more people. Because however little or whatever you've done in WWE, you were on WWE,
Exactly, because now once you're WWE, that's it. And that's everything. They started booking him. He started getting booking for parties. Who doesn't want to? He's the zombie.
Nah, I know. It's just funny though. Like,
And it was crazy. He kept getting booked everything for the zombie, for the zombie, for the zombie. And he just keeps getting annoyed. He's like, that's not my turn. I want Tim. I'm trying to get, because they're not, the zombie isn't getting taken serious. You're not putting your world title on the zombie. And that is the problem.
Some people can get out of the horrible gimmicks and they move on to something better. I mean, look, Cody and Stardust, still gets kind of like, Cody immediately like made reference when he first came back. He did the flip and he did the thing, and then he was like, "Fuck that,"
But look at what Cody though had to do to get rid of Stardust. He had to take a chance on himself, leave, rebuild, go to New Japan, go to Ring of Honor. And I'm sorry, and even before that, let's tour around the world, all these different promotions.
Yeah.
And make myself a main event star. I'm sorry, say it again.
What was that again?
I say he had to build his brand up.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and beauty of it for him too was Kevin Owens called the Young Bucks up and asked the Young Bucks to take care of him and to bring him in and be like, yo, Cody was a good guy. He did a lot for me. Could you pay it forward? And that's actually how Cody got into the Bullet Club.
Yeah. I remember that. And then him and kind of Omega kind of battled for the leadership of it and stuff.
That made him a main event player.
Yeah. Definitely.
That took him from here to here. He's now a main event guy.
Yeah.
Then he goes off, does his own company. He's coming out making fun of Triple H. Now he was next thing you know, he's Triple H's champion.
Destroying the throne. And then he's one of the few things that Jim Cornette would like about AEW when he would talk about it on this podcast. But like I remember his co-host Brian Last would probably be like, when Jade made her debut, it was easily like one of the worst things, and then one of the best things happened at the end when Brandy cut that promo and it was like it's like she said, who made this open mic night, bitch, or something to Jade. And I was all like, oh man, like rewatch that. Like that whole thing was bad to good to like, holy shit, where did this come from Brandy Rhodes?
He said, I was at the G4 in San Francisco where Tama Tonga turned on Cody and Kenny.
Tama Tonga.
Oh, man.
That dude is awesome. I wish I could have met him.
Me too. I never got to meet him one-on-one. Just a too sweet as he came down the aisle. It was as close as I got with him.
Someone like posted a picture of in the Mania Club, like Haku was on their flight, and I said, dude, that is the safest plane in the sky right now. It's like no one's gonna try to take over that plane if Haku's on there.
Nobody messes with Haku. Haku's the freaking, he's it. You don't mess with Haku.
Yeah.
And everybody knows it too. You don't mess with Haku.
No.
He's like the one guy all the wrestlers and everybody's afraid of. Nobody fucks with Haku.
I think I showed this one. No, I don't think I did that. So Chelsea had her sign an elite on this one. She actually has a chase of this figure. I think it's more of like a red orangish color, which I tried to find. I couldn't find it.
Oh shit.
So I'm happy that she signed this. But one of the things, and I guess you could chalk it up to just me being like, it's almost like a rookie mistake. I did get Tiffany Stratton to sign this, but the paint pen smeared. I didn't have it dried when I was putting it up. And then I was like, damn it. I was all like, crap. So I didn't meet Tiffany Stratton. She's cool. It's cool as hell. It's one of my favorites, but lesson learned, you got to wait for the paint pen to fully dry before you put it in. I need to get cases actually and take them with me so that way I could just put them in the case and they could just be there chilling. But you have to let the paint pen dry, ladies and gentlemen. But this is still going on my shelf. I'll be like, hey, Tiffany Stratton did sign it, but it smeared a bit. So
it builds
okay.
Shit happens. It's
it happens if you've ever collected autographs or you're gonna get into autographs, and you're like, oh, that'll never happen to me. It's gonna happen to you, pal.
You have anything else signed?
I do. It's probably the. I have another thing after this too, but
Ooh, okay.
it's something I purchased at the Superstore that I immediately saw. I was like, I'm buying it. Like, I don't care. But this, when I met Stone Cold Steve Austin, I had to get him to sign. Let's see. There we go.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Undertaker's already signed, so I need Sean to sign this, and this is done. I can get it framed and stuff, but
Wow.
yeah,
Check the private chat.
Gotcha. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I also got like a. Let's see, this one's a numbered poster that I got at Mania.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit. That's dope as shit.
Yeah, I also got the
Dallas Star Hunter.
So Beckett was at the show. So
Oh yeah.
So get the authentication. If I have to sell it, I have to. I don't want to sell it, but if money becomes a problem, or we hit a recession and it gets really bad, and you have to start selling off our things, then I'm like, well, I don't want to, but Bad Boy is gonna have to go. But I don't think I've ever done that to any collectibles. I've done it to a pair of sneakers. So I won some. I got lucky on a shock drop a long time ago, and it was the UNC Virgil Abloh ones. And I got them, and I was like, oh shit! Like, I never get it. I had to duck in the bathroom at work and be like, all right, come on. And I got it, and then I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna ever wear these. So I was like, let me test the resale market. I've never done it. I never sold anything on GOAT. And so I put them up on GOAT for maybe 1,300, and they sold. And I was like, shit. And ever since then, I've had buyer's remorse. I remember meeting Britt Baker at San Antonio Comic Con, and yes, Jones, it is Tiffy time. But I met her and she had them on, and I was like, and I looked down and I was like, I always have buyer's remorse. She's like, why? She's like, I won those, and then I ended up selling them, and then I was like, I should have just kept them things. It's like it just got me ahead on bills. I wasn't behind, but I was like, oh, these get me ahead, And then and then I figured, I was like, oh, I'm never gonna wear them. But I was like, no, I should have just been like, F it, I'm wearing them. Whether I'm going to the gas station or I'm going to the supermarket, like putting those bad boys on. Wear your shoes because they're gonna fall apart.
Damn right, wear your shoes.
Yeah. So let me get that other thing real quick.
Yeah, dude.
Back.
Do you think while you do that? Give me a minute too. Oh. I don't do my own fucking allergies and shit over here.
Oh, dude, you're getting your butt whooped by allergies too, Hunter.
Yo, I feel like shit.
Bro.
I don't think that's allergies. That's lack of chicken.
There you go, bro. Lack of protein.
I didn't want to say it like that, but
we gotta start them off with dino nuggets, baby steps.
So I'm bringing them some damn Chick-fil-A fucking tenders and some fucking Publix fried chicken. I might even put on the fucking DoorDash shirt or some shit. Hey, he'll be mad as shit. I just fucking run this bell.
Right.
He's like, I didn't order any fucking food. Hey, what the fuck?
I was almost tempted to try to see if I could DoorDash some of those Stone Cold Steve Austin beers to my hotel.
Oh shit!
I know this. I think there was a Total Wine near where I was at that could have done it, but then I would have been like, man, I'd have to just race down. Like, they put me on the 26th floor over there at the Westgate, so I was like, they come in at the early, like, hey, I'm coming down. I'll go meet you for the beers. But they had them at WWE World, so when you're at WWE World, you could just go over and be like, let me get a Stone Cold IPA. And if you've never had that, that's pretty damn good. Even if you don't like IPAs, you'll like this.
Nice.
I think sometimes beer. Oh, I heard that one wasn't that good, but they did have it at the show, but I didn't try it. I just went straight for the Stone Cold beer.
Nice.
If they were smart, they should just have El Americano be the spokesperson for it, since he's probably a little bit more popular than Hogan.
Did you do the double fist?
Oh man, I should. I should. If I was like on the way to the stadium, I would have definitely. And I had him, and I had to drink.
Hell yeah.
I would have probably just been like, and then just be covered in
Chug.
beer for the whole show.
Sick, bro.
Like I was like when I was telling you about the Sandman, like he literally was like, there was a guy over here, and he was literally like pouring the beer into the guy's mouth, just holding it.
Shit.
And the guy was just going everywhere. And when he opens his beer up, it just shoots out. And I'm like, oh, I better get the phone away from that. So in the video, my phone kind of goes back and then it goes. And then I'm following him, and I'm just like, he has a little bit beer left. And I was like, I could go run over there and see if he'll just pour it. And then I'll be like, but it's Budweiser, so it's not like it's not like, oh, I can easily just chug it or whatever like that. You'll be like, do
Right.
the Triple H thing back.
Oh shit! Hey, George Kittle was having a time of his life. He had like 7 or 8 plastic cups, stacked up. He was out there drinking for sure.
Yeah. I have a picture. Like I was like when I was leaving, I ran into him and I saw him with his cups, and he's had another like full beer in his hand, and he's literally like walking out. So I was like, oh, let me get a picture. Like I didn't get a where I'm like with me, like, yo, George, pose. I just saw him kind of like going beside me, and I was like, shit, let me snap this.
It was like looking back or something. I was like, okay, that's what's up.
I mean, some people look like there's like a couple of guys, I don't know what they were dressed like, but they were wearing like suits and like a Davy Crockett hat, and they had like some weird ass sunglasses on. Like one of them was like, dude, I don't know how many beers you had, but if you had like more time, you could easily get like one of those beer snakes going on, like at the XFL games or the UFL games. So I was like, wow. But beers were like $22, dude. At the stadium. It's like a tall boy Modelo, but they poured in a cup for you.
Yeah. Yeah, on the strip, Tully, it's like $20 or it's 18, so it's not too bad.
I think you could go some places you could find PBRs, and they're pretty much like maybe like $5 or so.
Yeah, the move is when we go to Vegas, bro, we go to Walmart. They have the 3-pack of Tully's for $10 or $8 or something like that.
Yeah.
And we have little mini fridges in the hotels, and you just pack them in. And you can walk around the strip or all Vegas with your beer.
Yeah. I should have just said DoorDash or whatever. Like I just didn't want to go Uber to Walmart and then have another Uber go back and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't check to see how far it was from my hotel.
Mm.
But
You guys
definitely.
stay on the strip?
Huh?
Did you stay on the strip or off the strip?
I think I was close to the strip where the Westgate is.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was in the mix over there. I know they had the monorail and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't go to Fremont Street. I wish I could have, but I just didn't have time.
He was a busy man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time I go back though, when it's not anything with wrestling, then I'll be like, oh, okay, now I can go to Fremont and all these other places. I don't like to gamble because I don't win. So I did it once at the airport, and I was like, fuck it. I lost $20. I'm out. Like literally, it was in 10 minutes. Like I was like, what the fuck? Playing
That's
like
the
a
worst place.
I feel stupid gambling. So I'm like, dude, I'm just giving my money away. So the time I did go out there, dude, I just paid the little slots.
Yeah.
And I don't like the penny slots.
Yeah.
And nickel slots and shit. And while you're gambling, you get free drinks. So as long as you tipping the ladies, shit, she keep burning drinks.
I should have at least tried to play the roulette wheel. Like you could just be like, all right, we're either gonna go black or red, and then watch it lands on 00 or 0. Because anytime I do that, I'm all like, all right, I feel confident. I'm gonna bet 20 on black, and then it's like 00. I'm like,
green.
Yeah. Or sometimes when you feel like, oh, let me put 23 for Jordan. Michael Jordan's lucky number and then you're like, nah, and then it hits, and you're like, why didn't I do it at that point? It's just like you could put them in there. You could get I guess your coins and set it between 4 numbers, and if it lands on that, I don't know how much you exactly win, but you probably win a lot more than just betting black or red or odd or even or this whole section or this whole section.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Graham, I would definitely penny slots. Oh, but Graham said play the corners on roulette. Okay. And Jones says play the outside box and evens. Okay, I'm gonna have to get like a pen and pad and just start writing it down and just be like.
And then slots from all the locals that I've talked to and met there. Sundays and Mondays are the days for the slots, bro.
Really?
To cash out on slots. Yeah. They pay out. They don't usually pay out on Friday, Saturday when all the people. It's usually when they're pretty full.
Yeah. You know, whenever I played it at the airport, I was like, maybe I'll have that moment, you know, like have you seen some of those videos where some people are like waiting for the flight and then they hit like the $1 million thing, like as they're like waiting for their plane. And I was like, what? It's like, no effing way.
They never showed the amount of money that total they've put in though. It'd be crazy. I've watched those videos too. And as I got older, as when I was younger, I'm from New Jersey, so we went to AC. And, you know what I'm saying? It was cool. It was a nice little venture and shit on the strip. And, well, that's not a strip. I can't say it. I'm not even going to say it. I can't compare the two. That's not a strip compared to the little line of fucking hotels and casinos that they have.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've ever been to AC, but it's in the fucking hood. You literally go from like, oh, the Caesar's Palace. Oh, this palace, and then you got like chains and pit bull puppies and
oh shit,
like and I ain't talking about the good pit bull puppies. I'm talking about like
who
dog is that?
Yeah, the ones you got to stay away from. You're like, oh no, like, that one. See, I've been to WinStar. WinStar's up here, like so. Like a lot of people from Texas just go up the border of Oklahoma and just go to WinStar. That's like a huge casino. And so that's what I was used to. But these other casinos in Vegas were just pretty much just small and stuff. You know, I had one in my hotel. They had a couple games all around and stuff, but I was never really tempted to stay there and play. I was like tempted to maybe like just chill over there and just be like, you know what? Like I'm going to see maybe some people roaming through, you know, like I think I saw Sergeant Slaughter going through and Tessa Blanchard and her dad, the OG Blanchard from the Four Horsemen, like he was there, but I didn't bother them because I know they were busy. I saw some fans earlier probably got a pick, but they were talking with somebody. I was like, I won't bother them, man. You know, just pay for the signings, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like like I think a lot of people. I think the WWE hotel was maybe up the road for me. I could walk to it. The one where they hold the roast, which I heard that roast was pretty damn good. I'm kicking myself for not going to it. Because I didn't think that, I know the dude, I saw him on Tom Brady's roast, Tony Hedgecliffe. And I was like, that dude was pretty funny on that thing. But whenever he was on Raw and he cut some jokes and stuff like that, I was like, man, this thing might be a disaster. But they said it was fucking like just off the wall. Like Paul Heyman was just roasting people. He roasted Fluffy to the point that Fluffy wanted to fight him.
Wow.
Like he was getting mad. And Heyman's like, you're a comedian, you roast people, so how are you not used to this?
All right.
And, I think Pat McAfee said, like, I was nowhere prepared. I tried to go up there and I was like, nope. And then, the Miz did his thing and he's like, the Miz, like Heyman went up there and destroyed people. Like Strowman was funny and stuff like that. I guess he took off his shirt and was doing his thing or whatever like that. But I was like, damn it, what? This is never going to see the light of day anywhere because it was so, off the beaten path as far as like jokes and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, this is never going to be on Peacock. May not make it on Netflix. I mean, some people got their cell phones up and you're starting to see some leak stuff come out of it. But from what I heard, it was a no, you can't have your cell phones out or you can't record anything, so it's just like, okay, well, now I'm just all like, if they do it again, I don't know if it'll be as good as this one, but I heard just mayhem was happening on it. And I'm like, well, crap. Yeah, let's see. Jones is saying there's nothing like Vegas. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Westgate. I mean, I got Westgate because that's where the WrestleCon was going at. And I was like, maybe I have time to go peek that. And then they were having discounted rates if you booked through WrestleCon. And they also had the shuttle to WrestleMania and the shuttle back.
A lot of history there at Westgate. I think Elvis Presley was there, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy Elvis memorabilia when you first come in. Mm-hmm. Like they had his watch, they had like a gun that I guess he owned. It's crazy. Like I was in awe. I didn't notice it the first day, but the second day it's like, oh, let me snap pictures of it and stuff of it. I was like, okay. But yeah, like yeah, Jones, that's Heyman shitted on Fluffy at the damn roast of it. I'm like, damn, like, you know, I probably could have got just a cheap ticket and I would have enjoyed myself, and that would have been like the last thing of the night, and then I'd go home, go to the hotel, sleep, and then get ready to leave on a plane. So kind of kicking myself for not going to the roast. Sneaker Hunter, you're back. I do got this that I got from the Superstore. Turnbuckle pad signed by CM Punk.
Okay, that's dope.
21 out of 41. You know, the people that rush in there, the first thing they buy is number 1 or number 41, whatever the end of the number is. Though, because I see those, I saw the Roman Reigns one already pop up on eBay, 41, 41. And I'm all like, man, you guys are relentless. But regardless, I was like looking for this. I was like, it's like, I want something signed. I want a turnbuckle pad signed by CM Punk. This is his first Mania. So, you know, I noticed that the regular unsigned turnbuckle ones that they have, like the WrestleMania sign is just straight, and this one's curved. So they made a little bit of a difference on it. Right after John Cena won, they stocked these with him signed. I think they only limited it to 25. But they were proud of that one. They wanted $999 for it.
Shit.
And I'm like, man, I don't know if I was like, I didn't want to put that in my credit card. I was like, no. Like, I'm good. I'm good with this one. This is like about $350, and it comes Fanatics certified. It already came in this little case, so I'm like, I'm good with it. You know, it's protected and everything, so I don't have to get anything for it. I just hang it on the wall or just lean it somewhere. But John Cena's supposed to do Fan Expo over here in Dallas, so I'm gonna go meet him. And I got one of the regular unsigned turnbuckle pads, so in a way, I'll get the one that I saw at the store, but I have it signed by him in person. And meet him and get a photo op. So I'm excited about that.
Huge congrats, bro. Dope.
Hell's yeah. And sorry to cut it short. Usually I go to frickin' you guys want to make me want to get off, but I feel like shit tonight. I was trying to just keep getting. I was trying to hang in there and keep going as long as I could, but I don't know if it's allergies or what. But holy shit!
Was when you was growing, man. It's the lack of chicken.
Protein, baby.
It very well might be at this point. Shit.
You know what? I'm gonna get you a chicken that says YEET on it.
Yeet.
But
no, I'm not gonna say it. So,
Jimmy, thank you so much for coming through tonight.
Yes, sir.
I would love to have you come back again on a night where I don't feel like shit.
I pretty much showed, I think, most of everything that I got. So I think, you know, we got it or whatever like that. Or you just want to invite me on just to shoot the shit, it's fine.
Hell's yeah, man. I don't know what it is, man. I felt like but then it was all right. Like I kept going with it, but then you guys saw I've been gone for quite a few minutes.
Yeah, you didn't ice cream either, so yeah.
And I had my ice cream earlier. Too, so I don't know what the hell.
Well, let me show you something simple real quick.
Yeah.
Put me on the big screen.
Of course.
Appreciate you.
Yeet.
These, this might be hard to see. The little details. It is a keychain. It comes with 2 keychains. These ones don't come with the bags. And when I say bags, I mean like these type of bags.
Okay.
That come with bags. Like these are the breads. I'm gonna take one out so you can see the details. This one is my favorite. Off-white Chicago bread. For those who know. And if I can get it to
Fire.
And some places they charge you fucking $20 for one keychain, no box. I got the Off-White. That's another bread. I got the Dior.
Nice.
I know Hunter not feeling well. Your favorite Jimmy?
Oh no!
Oh shit!
It strikes the heart.
I have a story of me selling mine too, so don't feel bad. And I sold for a lot less than you did.
I was shocked. That's what I was like. I'm not gonna get that. And then when it happened, I was like, crap.
Yeah. The Travi Lowe's.
Nice.
Now, the ones that I have, a lot of people probably be interested that come with the bag.
Ooh.
You did the bag. You did the
and the box.
The box. And you did 2 keychains. Here's the Travi Lowe's.
Oh, nice.
I'll just show 2 more. It's another. Of course, Jordan box. Got your Lance Mountains.
Yeah.
And last one I'm gonna show real quick. Nike bag. Nike box. And it's your Freddy.
Oh shit, the Freddy.
And
YEET.
all my keychains are $15 and $5 shipped. So it's $20 basically shipped.
Definitely won't be losing your keys if you have those on there.
Exactly. and you just stunt in style. I mean,
exactly. Just have that hanging out of your pocket when you have your keys, and be like, "Oh shit, what's that?"
And 2 of them, when they sell, I'm gonna throw a free keychain in the Jordan basketball.
Oh
shit!
Oh shit!
And I said I was gonna stop, but for
wait, there's more.
For those,
the Louis bag
who want to be fancy, you get the bag, and you get the 2 Louis Air Force Ones.
Oh.
And I got the white, and I believe this one is brown.
I like them.
And they actually, all of them come with real laces.
Real laces?
Yeah, like they're laces.
Oh shit!
Like, oh, I see it. Yeah, yeah.
Damn! Wow! Oh shit!
I'd be like, those are bitch to tie. Be like tweezers to try to tie them.
But it's all in details, man, and quality.
Oh yeah.
That's all I want to tell you. Do little pickups that are
there, Hunter?
That are not on the website.
You said that's on the website, or it's going on the website?
They're gonna go on the website, but they're not on the website right now.
Can they hit you up before they go on the website?
Yes, they can.
And is the discount in play for those?
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Mr. Old School, for dropping the link. There it is.
Thank you, Mr. Old School.
Yes,
yeah, boy.
I'm always trying to, look out for my peoples.
Damn right.
You appreciate your money?
Absolutely. Use Wolfpack for 10% off. Why pay more if you can pay less? Jimmy, thank you again for coming through tonight. We definitely going to have you come back and we're going to chop it up because I can go for hours with wrestling talk football.
Oh yeah, me too.
Thank you, everybody in chat, for pulling up on another beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. Hopefully next Tuesday, my monetization will be back. Fingers crossed. We think it'll be next Tuesday will be good. So whenever that Tuesday happens, we're going to have something special planned. So hopefully it is next Tuesday. We'll keep you posted throughout the week. And when you hunt with the pack, you never hunt alone. And as always, everybody, stay hunting. We see you on the next one.
Artlist.io